Yay, at least this time I get to be on camera with these two jabronis.
This time.
Just this once.
Whatever. We're doing this whole equal opportunity crap.
You're still reading this shit.
Yeah, I know, because I'm the only one that can read. All right, it's Q&A time. Remember, it's your first time checking out this new OTRS channel, OTRS Central. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that little button down below. If you want your questions answered, submit them where, Mike?
Twitter.
What's our Twitter handle?
At Off the Rope Show.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. Let's get started. At Ivory Martinez 3. How would you feel about a woman becoming the WWE champion, even though it hasn't happened yet?
China's gone.
Don't they have a Divas belt for that?
Do they have a woman strong enough to carry the company?
I will say that, to me, if there was ever a time you were going to do that with a character you were ever going to do that with, it would have been Karma.
Definitely.
I think you could have sat there and played on this whole once-in-a-lifetime, one-shot opportunity, maybe do it at a secondary pay-per-view. The amount of publicity that this would have generated would have been tremendous. I don't think the company even necessarily realizes how big. And I think if you look at Carmen, if it would have been a smaller person like a Jericho, a Daniel Bryan, a CM Punk, I don't mean it as a bad way, but you could make it believable where a big bad bitch like Karma could actually win the WWE or World Heavyweight Championship. You could ever win the Royal Rumble.
They did have China win the IC title. Over. Jeff Jarrett.
And then WCW decided to make him a 4-time world champion in about a year's time.
4 times.
And that's why they're no longer around. At Real Ziggy 23, Yo Schleg Daddy, I've always wanted to know if there was at least one time you somewhat did not despise Randy Orton. I was going to say when he feuded with Triple H. I haven't always despised Randy Orton. Haven't always. There have been moments. Like Rated RKO was pretty good.
Legacy was good until it became all about Orton.
Correct. That's about it, though. At Superkick95, how did Smokey react when Mark Henry faced off with Sheamus at SummerSlam 2011, and who did he root for? I mean, you really even have to ask the cat.
No.
When in doubt, Mark Henry versus anybody, he's always going to choose
That was
Mark
his
Henry.
dream WrestleMania match.
Yeah, I mean, he was, you know, he was, of course, happy that Mark Henry won, but he wanted it to be even more. At Dasty the One, who deserves to face Undertaker next?
John
Assuming
Cena.
that it hasn't been done yet, yes.
Me.
No. You deserve to get Tombstone. You said Cena?
Yeah.
What about you?
Punk.
Okay. Are those the only two guys that really deserve to face him at Mania?
Pretty much the card hasn't been built up, and I would even argue Punk's not ready for it yet.
But I think you could say Punk is close enough to where he deserves it.
Right,
This is more about deserving.
Right now, he's the guy that deserves it, just as the fact that there's nobody else there besides Cena.
Maybe The Rock would be the one other name I'd throw out there.
I know that everybody's like, the Brock Lesnar should fight him, but...
They've done that already.
But they haven't done it at Mania, though.
That's true.
And how many times did Triple H fight Undertaker?
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
How many times is Triple H going to go into the WWE Hall of Fame? 4. Incorrect. The correct answer is technically 5. After doing some revisionist math, I realized he could go in as a member of the Clique, as a member of D-Generation X, as a member of Evolution, as a member of himself being the Game, and then as being a front office person in the WWE. Who else could be a 5-time WWE Hall of Fame inductee other than God? Completely random and off the subject, but I thought it was appropriate to point it out. At Blue Goblin 1, would you be disappointed if The Rock were to drop the strap to CM Punk at Elimination Chamber?
Yes.
No.
Why would you be disappointed?
Because we already went through Punk's 434-day title reign that was boring as shit.
Metal D, you said
I wouldn't
no.
be disappointed because, hey, The Rock got the belt. That's what everybody wanted. Okay, give him the belt.
It's not what I've heard. Everybody wanted that, huh?
Well, okay.
I believe I was in the extreme minority on that one, actually.
I wanted it too.
I'm not even a huge Rock
You were sitting there when we were watching the Rumble, you're like, I'm torn.
I was.
And we tried to get you to go sit on the couch with the one CM Punk fan, but no.
Yeah, but regardless.
I'd be a little disappointed, but I'd be okay because at least they gave me The Rock as WWE champion.
Right,
and
I
that's
could
what
understand it, but let's be honest, is Cena versus Punk going to be big draw for Mania.
No, they're going to want to do Cena Rock too.
Yeah.
Or they'll throw in Punk and make it a triple threat.
Mhm.
At Mr. D. Archer, what are your thoughts on Bret Hart's recent comments on Triple H? Have you guys seen those?
Yes.
Yeah. Thoughts?
Somewhat true.
Overrated. I don't know if
He is overrated.
he is
Definitely.
overrated,
But mostly it's in Triple H's mind and MJ's.
right. I don't disagree with him completely, but during the time, hey, Triple H, he was a decent champion at the time.
The only thing I might argue about those comments, I wouldn't put Triple H in my top 1,000 wrestlers. Really?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but when you get all the things, like, I'm a big Hogan mark, so everybody always wants to find all these excuses to shit on Hogan, and a lot of them are legitimate. At least I can admit it. You got HBK fans, but they know that HBK was a dick for many years.
Oh, definitely.
I'm sorry, when it comes to Bret Hart, sometimes he's his own worst enemy in the sense that he's too serious, and he thinks too much that the shit's real, and he's too full of his own bullshit. He's going to say shit like Undertaker Triple H at Mania last year was 4 out of 10. The fuck are you doing, Bret? Just shut your mouth. If you say you don't think Triple H is one of the 10 greatest of all time, fine. I agree with you. He's God, but he's not one of the 10 greatest of all time. If you want to say he's overrated, fine. When you start talking about, like you said, top 1,000, you just sound like a douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. And sometimes Bret has those moments where he sounds like one. At MBFBCC22, sorry if that offends any of you, but too fucking bad, it's the truth. When Brad Maddox and Honey Boo Boo finally team up in the Maddox event of WrestleMania 29, who do you think they will face? Doesn't matter. Dominant victory. It will be the Maddox main event for Honey Beef Mode. Next question.
You put that question in there, didn't you?
There is a legit Twitter user that asked that very question. You know why? Because the movement is catching on. It's catching fire like the
question
herpes in your groin
It's like
region.
herpes.
At Preston Sorrells. It doesn't go away, that's why. Who do you think Ryback will wrestle at WrestleMania?
Jericho.
The Shield.
I'd have to agree with Jericho or maybe Big Show. And you said, please don't say Honey Boo Boo. Well, of course Honey Boo Boo's not going to. She's much higher on the card than Ryback.
As in, she's not going to be on the card.
Oh, yes, she will. At Ryan Monroe 6, WWE wouldn't ruin my dream, would they?
Yes.
They already gave me the Rock as WWE champion.
Yeah, so get over it. They already gave you your one.
I can ask
That's
for
all
two.
you get.
I'm getting greedy
You get
now.
one.
I get Honey Beef Mode at Mania. What do you think about Brock Lesnar versus Triple H 2?
First match was really good. I don't mind it. Let's do it.
First
I
match
hope
was
he
really
beats that
good.
sandwich salesman.
The first match was really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It was a good match.
It was all right.
Watch it
So
again.
you don't want to see it?
I didn't want to see it the first time. I don't want to see it this time.
And you want to see it, huh?
Yeah, I hope he beats the sandwich salesman this time.
All I'll say about this match is it's just another match on Rematch Mania. Praise God! Another big 7-figure payday for God himself. What a genius. At WWE 2012-02, would you rather watch Zach Gowen versus Lord Tensai or
Who?
Randy Orton versus Jeff Jarrett? Zach Gowen versus Lord Tensai.
Wow.
Randy Orton versus Jeff Jarrett.
I'll take Orton and Jarrett.
At CPZ27, Schleg Daddy, will you ever make a video about TNA and why you still watch it and what got you into it?
It's called his TNA reviews. Watch them every week on the regular Off the Rope Show channel.
There you go.
There's really only one reason, and his name is Hogan, brother.
No. I started watching it when they were doing the weekly pay-per-views back in 2002 because there was no more WCW, there's no more ECW. So I started watching it, and it was an off and on thing over the first 6-7 years of the company. Every time I would watch it, then I would see who the world champion was, and I would stop watching. And then over the past 3.5 years, 4 years, I've watched pretty regularly. At Daniel Arbord, should Jericho face Ziggler at the Chamber or Mania? Or neither?
Let's see. Last time Jericho fought Ziggler, Jericho won. So yeah, it'd be nice if Jericho would let Ziggler win at one of these matches. So yeah, I'll go with Elimination Chamber.
Would they be like in a number one contenders match on the card, or are they even?
Yes,
gonna
let's have a number one contenders match while he has the fucking briefcase, because that makes sense.
He was in the Royal Rumble and he went to the Final Four. So what the fuck difference does it make? Yes.
Didn't Ziggler beat Jericho to get him out of the company?
On a free Monday Night Raw the night after the pay-per-view.
Regardless, Jericho's a jobber now. It doesn't matter. I say yes. Put him in the ring with Ziggler so that at least Ziggler can get a win.
At the Chamber or at Mania?
As a chamber.
In a non-chamber match, of course.
Of course.
At 3 more, S9, A Schleg Daddy, which comedy show is your favorite? Ooh, I really don't know if... I don't really watch much TV if it's not sports or wrestling or politics related, to be honest with you. Comedy show? No, that's not even funny.
doesn't even watch it.
Yeah, ROH just sucks. That's not
He
even...
watches it once a year to make a video talking about how terrible it is.
That's not even a comedy of errors. I mean, that's not... No, that's terrible. A comedy show, you could obviously say The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, The Colbert Report. My favorite comedy show of all time would have to be Married with Children.
You watch Family Guy sometimes.
Sometimes as well, yes. But I would rank The Daily Show and The Colbert Report as higher up on my list because of the more politically laced satire that they have. Thanks again for submitting your questions. If you want your questions answered, submit them to our Twitter. The handle is @OffTheRopeShow. That information, as that one was pointing to, is in the description box down below.
That's for you. Enjoy.
We're professionals here!
At least I am. I don't know about these two.